7 Asempa FM so ne Ekosiisen dwumadi na wasugu so a wudi no utie no sorry ma yema mu nyina akwa babio na we say a happy birthday to Madam Tina Equia Fafali of Fast Wholesale here in Accra, wishing you God's abundant blessings and all the good things you desire. It's from a friend here at Joy FM and Madam Tina Equia Fafali of Fast Wholesale in Accra. In the happy birthday to you. Sunday da ye nimi so ye Honorable Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover ni 56th birthday. It on Sunday, Honorable Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover will be 56 years. Honorable, happy birthday in advance to you. We pray that you live to be 94.7 and beyond. Honorable Titus Glover number freno na kasa woman na wodapa. Kwesi de ye nimi na wedi imfie eduonum insia 56 years. Enye easy to be 56. Honorable, congratulations to you. Happy birthday in advance. We wish you very, 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 very well. Let me see. I have a few ones to deal with. Nafe, Yemrani Yemeshasye ini enkomo. We say, Obi, hey, Bernard enim PSC. Wow. Ene Bernard enim PSC birthday. Enim we de facha yen na wasanka me yen ntem facha yen papa ene wa woda Bernard enim PSC of the NDC. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you, my brother. Live to be 94.7 and beyond. We appreciate you and the fact that you constantly appear on our show. Good evening, Obi. Please send my condolences to Mrs. Josephine Enima Donko, Principal Treasury Executive, ECG, Tema South District. She's lost her mother, Madame Selina Akosia Ohenewa, a.k.a. Ma Seli. I would come and support her this weekend at Kwabin in the Etiwa West District. And on the brighter side of life, please wish Evangelina Faith at the Pateria. Evangelina Faith at the Pateria of One Step in Christ Academy at Elubo. Wow, in the Western region, a happy birthday. It's from his father, Lord Teria. And Lord is our Western regional correspondent. And his wife as well. They would want to wish their daughter, Evangelina Faith Adepa Teria, One Step in Christ Academy, Ewo Elubo. Happy, happy, happy birthday. I'm told you are listening to us on West End Radio in Elubo, West End Radio. And finally, a glorious birthday to Miss Vida Mawushi Agbelevo of Knight and Ladies of Mashal, St. Thomas Cathedral, Ewo Obuase. Miss Vida Mawushi Agbelevo. Happy birthday to you. In studio, Edem Agbana, Edem ye Deputy National Youth Organizer, Edema NDC. Honorable Collins Owusua Mankwa, former MP, Ewo Menchia North Constituency. And Yayinia, the man from the Republic of Gambaga, Atik Mohammed, Ewo studio. And Timpanyefo na eboayemi yede ye in discussion segment no apremo. But Kweku Jesse Ewo monitoring and evaluation or say, Obi, good evening. Please tell my brother Atik that football is a necessity. Entertainment is not luxury but a need.
It's not a need.
In this instance, the World Cup is a festival which all qualified countries are expected to put up a good show for the image of their respective countries. Ghana has a duty to represent well on the pitch and off the pitch. What matters most is the reasonability of the expenditure. How would we feel as a country if there is no one in the stadium to cheer our players up for the right optics and morale? Anything that uplifts the flag of Ghana high on the international stage is a good investment. Remember, creation started in the month of August, and August bones rock. Sunday is a big day for me too. Okay, Kweku Jesse and on the way, about formerly of 1D1F and your monitoring and evaluation. I don't know, say you need to say a department to you would want to tell us first. Not a ministry, but for now I don't know. It was. But
There was a minister, but there was never a ministry.
Yeah, it had a minister. It was under the office of the president,
Yes,
actually.
so it wasn't a
ministry. It wasn't a ministry per se. Yeah.
But Anyway,
I don't know.
maybe
Still, that's so etisade there.
I disagree with him when he says
entertainment here, luxury,
yeah, say it's a necessity.
A necessity, no.
But if I were to even grant him, say it's a necessity, it's just like saying, say, oh, food is a necessity. Sorry, clothing, and clothing is a necessity. But designer wear,
and a necessity.
What he has here,
Yeah.
Entertainment comes in different forms. Into the generic word entertainment, even if I were to grant say a necessity, because maybe psychologists will say it's good for your survival and what have you. So if I were to grant that on that extended logic,
yes,
mean to me because football as a specific enterprise, as a discipline, is a necessity because there are other forms of entertainment. Obi or entertaining,
and you can. Man can survive without football.
Exactly.
In
fact, as a matter of fact, you'll be a crying play football.
Yeah.
Ultimately, yeah. Until you cannot say football is a necessity. It's a luxury service which can only be afforded and indeed
for
yes.
Luxury.
Until you almost can afford the football because it's not for free.
It is not.
It's
not.
And sometimes England. Look, so you have stayed in.
Hey, Master, take it.
Man, can't that out.
Master, na me say.
Hey,
yeah, imagine say me
one match.
Aberdeen FC ne a friend saying, oh, this team in Glasgow. Oh, Charlie, me £35 be part those times.
Yeah, no, Oscar.
Master,
show us how the £35 go show. Master, £35.
And this is
£35.
This is 2013.
Over 350 cities in Ghana. Oh, easy. I'm a socialist.
Aberdeen is Celtic.
Yeah.
Aberdeen FC is Celtic. Ewo Pitodri Stadium. Master, £35. That's 2013.
Ima nebishan.
You see, like when you go to Dubai,
yes,
we have a home minister in charge of entertainment.
Yes, and happiness. Saudi Arabia, you minister in charge of happiness.
Yes.
Oh, and
even Dubai, they have minister for happiness.
Yes.
What we call minister for culture.
Oba besia ne dia ne say obehu say
nkofo ani
agi. Nkofo ani agi uko Dubai underground ne dia ne say no wo sra wo mo o hwe wani mu o timu say wadidi wani anigye bia ba wo mu so wo dem be chen enti emfa ohia nkeka nsem bi wo studio ha so wo dem be chen no football no you can't just rubbish supporting football clubs in this country.
I'm not saying
no ohia now the
keka be prudent in its expenditures. Okay. I mean, look. Prof. Legacy name Nasif. Where you not come you? You go and fund people's pleasures.
Obi.
Because we now supporters. We not going to show on the players.
Baby, now so crack. And boy,
I mean, you are just going to finance the pleasures of.
I'm on for pleasures.
You know.
Obi oha. The curiosity of person satisfy me. So make kata. Me kata.
You see the way of advertising some of their stadia.
Marital freedom.
Yeah.
Can only be acquired through
such a trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we cannot be using state resources.
It doesn't make sense.
Can you imagine?
Special happy birthday to my bestie, Hamdia Musa Banahene, CEO of Dia Hassam Local Beverages. Obi can the bestie ayede.
Bestie.
It's the polite way of saying
the body.
No, it's the
like Nadam for pa.
Yeah, Nadam for mun just add so what is best thing is the euphemistic way of
saying your girlfriend.
No.
Worse than that, friends with benefits. What's the other word they use for it?
Oh, okay.
BB mate. Something mate.
Is it?
Bestie.
Bestie.
Okay. In Shaba Nelka.
Oh, about of a bestie. What I didn't say.
In Shaba the cancer.
In Shaba Nelka, no wishing the bestie.
The bestie.
Anyway.
The church mucho.
Anyway.
What the back?
My any other business? I mean, issues a good promotion. The opese offer na fe yentoaso enko. Atik, let me start with you. Let's do 10 minutes na fe yen wrap it up. Second
the issues no SHS graduates and CDR teacher panza.
SHS graduate why for proposal be no. Okay.
Issues no starting in well anyway. Oh, they're not going.
No, but I think let's stick with
discipline.
Matter. Corruption. Was it corruption idea?
Caution statements.
no, but the YEA idea is fantastic for you, and I enjoy
corruption. I am
it.
And where it is coming from, anyways. But my main guy, because me can't. Why or more idea to recruit SHS and also
for chips compounds to help.
Are they what kind of training are they going to be offered?
Those details have not been
because once a health sector health sector is a specialized sector. Sebi and say other sectors are with minimal training Nipano can perform.
Yeah.
We need some specialized training. I don't know how they're going to go about it. Say and because chips compounds say we and say OPD. Because what they do sometimes goes beyond just administrative. And you can find SHS secondary school graduates say ombe money and ombe buane money chips compound. Sometimes we call chips compound honum no ne oho ye midwife and a nurse back.
Yeah.
Nti odi omoba you would expect say ombe buano in your oil no. And the work of the nurse no is a specialized role.
That's true.
And yeah, be regular rules be other sectors you would expect people to perform rules without training and yes sanity. And you do omukwa dear number potty. That's the question. No, dear number, that's the question we should be asking. A dear number.
Because really, chips compound a primary health.
Yes.
And they are more first aid.
Yes.
First aid, right?
Not first aid. Well, you could say that, but
community head-based planning services.
Yes.
You could say first aid, but not in the strictest sense of the word first aid.
Okay.
First aid is a walk out you fear you can administer first aid. But chips compound no, it's supposed to be some professional
for communities that are district health center anyway. First point of call.
No. Sabi para sometimes almost very acute.
A bit
or yeah, secondary school graduate or the training be a training said them crana still human be on to me.
I think first we should find out what role they will be given at the chips.
And that's what I'm asking, sir.
Yeah.
My follow issue from the beginning. And I'm here, one of the people I've been very critical of the YEA on this issue. Almost say, according to YEA, no, almost spokesperson, any Alhaji Bashiru, deputy director.
Yeah.
Argument say recruit sa SHS graduates to provide administrative assistance to nurses.
Okay.
Until they will be taking record any record keeping and they want to pay them I think 400 Ghana.
400 cedis. Okay.
No, but
Obi. Me position say primary health care area bia here pass Ghana massive investment because most of the rural communities are healthcare provision very terrible. Intina bebrina obi eko into labor na the tricycle and a motorbike a funny panel to go and deliver. By the time anipa bedu ono ebia most often na yentiasem there. Sometimes in Obi there are issues obi the symptom be either pharmacy and a clinic rural area because nipa na no otie same and otie issue no test, no proper test because need so those machines need facilities to conduct any proper test. It will say who headache na najo say paracetamol and ebe to me solve ebia sa headache no a symptom of a different sickness how it's primary health care is very important. Mene wo ka say obi this year aban abie mu omo portal no Ministry of Health say omo ye trained nurses and any nurses assistants nursing assistants so you were 2 types.
Yeah.
Nursing assistants clinical. Any nursing assistants preventive.
Preventive, yes.
Average salary around 1,300 Ghana cedis. Over 20,000 of them. Our system
apply.
Certificates. All the regulated. They belong to the regulated bodies.
They are yet to be posted.
Training. Pay juma almost every week. Ye picketing. Our Ministry of Health and our Ministry of Finance. It is about system and our program. About sika. Opese we extend healthcare to the rural communities. Sa nkrofo the NAC ni NAP for no nursing assistant clinic and preventive for omo receive specialized treatment.
And they are the people who go to
in this record training. It for chips compounds no.
That's the point I was coming to.
Why do you ignore them? Afe who person will run a different program. Now I recruit secondary school graduates. Ube offer almost our opportunity. At the time you already have people buying to your moka. People, government pay them during their training. Our certificate, juma. You making some mistake now, Obi. Already, even with professionals, medical negligence will Ghana very high. Almost on weekly basis. You won't go for a social media, account of our ABA, family members be every year because of negligence by doctors and nurses. Recently, maybe the Kolebu court say Nikunu issue be do on the where doctors and nurses handle no it led to the man's death. These issues are issues of life and death. Minji say abide through the YEA.
But from what you said about role on person mono, would they come into contact with patients? Direct contact with patients?
Me say uko medical, uko hospital and a pharmacy record keeping. And yet there's the normal record keeping to say will be our church secretary adio and also your training why the maumu.
But is that not the training they said they would offer them?
Secondly, Obi, 1 day training, 1 week training,
and then
1 week training. Maybe say why do you have to ignore over 20,000 people are already system no more pay juma?
Okay.
What is the essence?
So simple.
And yes, simple, so.
No, very simple.
Okay.
We a special program.
Yes.
A year World Health Organization. And they buy.
WHO.
Yes.
Secondary
approved
Okay,
by
they are funded.
African
They are
Union.
funded.
No, listen.
AU
No.
and World Health
What I'm
Organization.
saying, the funds,
I will
where
tell
the
you.
funds is coming from.
Okay.
A WHO program approved by African Union.
Okay.
And Omoni Ministry of Health. Eddie Abase. In order to augment a year health delivery within the primary health care, I was saying to me, a nipo bit me assist because there are certain areas where I now would need some medical personnel, remote areas, and this are cheap compound. Yempe a nipa bi omobet me ako assist be a midwife or nurses or more exactly. Now if you who say omo to me school to us secondary school no yeah the sanctity any ma almost a recording of medical history no entity yeah they ma also bisa yes okay. So the question is how many months or year and now this sanctity any be man no me so don't let us be little intelligence of obi a we secondary school I say I won't can
that is not
why man look at it say obi a we secondary school oni adwena obetimi dia church Adam Agbena you see
you are being the most unfair. Obi, you see, Obi, after secondary school, my first work experience, I acquired it after secondary school. And my history of my first work on assistant station, and yet, but will be secondary school, our man opportunity. But health sector, a specialized sector, a critical sector. Obi, unim say, 94.7. Who can receive even 3 or 4 years training as a nurse at our university or nurse, to say Legon, or more of our omo ye
Degree
nursing,
no.
degree nursing, who we are. Aban expect say we be throw exams be
Licensure.
before we to me practice. When you for almost your nursing for 4 good years at the highest level, but they are still required to pass through a certain process.
Obey rotation. We are
It's the American as a World Bank angle now would buy no. I buy a use and no as a very deceptive tool. Let me tell you about that program. WHO, any AU. Omo under expansion of healthcare program be na omo ye. So it's omo boa aban to ensure say they send people to rural communities. Omo emma even some private NGOs be grants omo dey expanding your organization be Ghana ha. Omo benefit from that program. It's omo what they are doing say omo ba ukrom and omo ko village be na say pharmacy na ewo without chief's compound na clinic. Na sa pharmacy no they will try and allocate a qualified nurse and now will be na nipa no ewo pharmacy enti uko pharmacy na ya daddy pharmacy no into pharmacy and consulting room be sir and they equip those nurses to work into omo recruiting qualified private nurses. It's program no wo. It's Abai has the option to allocate some opportunity no to all more 20,000 plus now make us omo you qualified. Omo tinefia omo pay juma.
But would the money be able to
see? So say who you are buying, you really care about the people. You augment say 400 in every World your friend is saying World Health Organization and you a bar.
Then you top up
a way of topping up no money 1,003 no. No it says more kind so it's more kase. So more kase issue of money. Munka say a financial problem. Na mumbeka say assess the problem be wo and you've identified say a SHS graduate never solve it. No. We are going to tour with the lives of people. Obi already your big problem be Obi already your big problem be your rural areas in terms of healthcare delivery. Obi wo most of our pharmacies any chiefs compounds na here no ebia ene next no any around obi a administrator na adwene say o ebia my adwuma o have for 4 or 5 years ni nti edro we na say ni say I'm challenging the Ministry of Health omuko your various rural communities they will see a lot of people are and self-fathers or practice, but they are the ones giving out medicine. We are risking the lives of the Ghanaian.
Okay.
Aban should send those who have been trained, who are qualified, who have the certificate. SHS graduates now who cover 5,000 and 400 cedis. Say you are going to endanger the lives of Ghanaians. Let's not toy with the lives of Ghanaians.
I take cafe Kasa.
What is the nature of the program? And we're very important to be able to do any analysis. So, program, what the content of the program is. But it appears even at the level of the YE Nukra, it's not been concretized. So, these are the specified rules. Because, like I said, the health sector is not like any other sector. Like any other sector, it involves lives. It's a specialized area. To say na simple programmer WHO Ediba, they did not make the suggestion say use SHS graduates to go and work in chiefs compounds. Also, usually such programs they are generic in nature. Then you think about the specifics. Officer can make you realize the objects of the program. Nti enye WHO and AU for nakase kofa graduates from secondary school na for mko chips compounds mu there be. They are giving you support to augment your efforts in boosting primary healthcare delivery. Nti how you do it is up to you as a state. And if this is the smartest way they can come up, I mean this is the smartest idea they have come up with, I think it's a bit problematic. As I say, there are other options that are safer, that are, in my view, even more cost effective compared to because 400 cedis for just record keeping, that's a lot of money.
Really?
Now beneficiaries of YE, those who are even doing other graduates or muye, I can say
NABCO.
And that's an NABCO, dear.
Okay.
Mika YE, they have other modules, that deal with graduates.
Yes.
Yeah, the skilled modules. No. Do you know how much they earn? Maybe we're investing in as for. They don't earn beyond 700. If my memory is not betraying me.
700. They say Zoom line on Crawford.
I'm talking about
sanitation model.
There's
180, 200.
Andrew 700. No, no, even Nyomuye Juma as interns in some of these agencies. If you have 400 to spare, we can optimize the use of Sasikano in a way that would deliver us some more concrete results. Our intervention with the Ebuaye. Because if it is just record keeping, how does that necessarily boost? I'm not saying the record keeping is not important. Primary healthcare delivery is important. But record keeping, you have a community of like 5 villages, for example, just with one chips compound serving the entire enclave. To boost access to primary healthcare,
you need another nurse,
or even more. And yes, there is deficit of trained nurses. So we have a pool of them. Deploying them is the problem. Somebody has gifted you this much. Saying, boy your efforts at improving primary healthcare delivery. Now, when him say nurses, any services are almost offer no any bit me aboa. And as you, young children, so now confirm kwala maybe secondary school. Now young form nurse no keep records. At the end of the day, how does record keeping improve primary healthcare delivery? I'm not saying it's not important, but in the scheme of things, it is less important compared to deploying another nurse to augment the services of Nyomuo Hodadano. That's my thinking first. And secondly, I say it should be so. Sometimes we do that which is popular, but for the most part, not efficient. Secondary school and if I'm sounding a bit political, but that's my view. Mehuni say it may have some electoral implications to it. Deploying secondary school graduates to do certain things. Somebody may say, look, Crawford, this may be the first time voters are mobile. You target your more. I'm earning 400 because of it might,
and who are also probably graduate from free SHS.
Absolutely. Anyway. These are just thoughts that would run through people's heads. Until the person would be like, at the end of the day, it is not going to the delivery of primary health care the way I pay, but might be serving some electoral ends. Ultimately, and on that basis, there would be some question. And we need to boost our primary health care delivery. It will be agitum, but the route now, suggests I think it offers less utility and at the end of the day, a bit the deserved outcomes now happen. Until media, I think we need to rethink this whole approach towards utilizing resources.
From WHO.
Having said so, MZ, the other topic, because 5 minutes now.
On any way on this topic, and I'll come back to you. Honorable Collins, also Amankwa, having listened to Onam Fufomi, still I'll support it idea way.
Yes, I think Mebo a youth employment agency Abaso. Na menua Kofi Japan so. Masama ni trinkwa bio say adwuma na wahya no edemu pepepepe esan say enche me kai say eye why omone Ghana Education Service esan memorandum of understanding na omo recruit to almost 8,000 young people la omo best serve as non-teaching staff sabi oko some selected secondary schools no kwa bi o ha caterers no be too old pantry boys ni ade no bi mo ha omo nyina hia mo nti no sa young people we mo no nyina no mbekwa kwakwaboa. You see, baby a otie no obetima sere na mpanifo se unyini ensere akwatia nti no se me nua atikti hoi ono no sebi osusu se odidi fine nti o hwesika na yede ma wo mo na oh no but okay because nipa no the edikan baby okoko ye adwuma no remote areas so the meche no go kra bu abedro na ebikran kan ya kra na eden ebi ni ho obeto lantern ne sa na bobo ni ade you see enti no please
employing her to go and stay on
no.
They can be in the communities.
No, community now. No, you see, selection of 5,000 graduates. No, maybe 5,000 graduates. It will cross out for electoral.
I'm saying maybe.
Scores now you are being unfair and insincere to a binary or rules program no because say fund 5,000. Now her electoral college. No, please. The whole Ghana 7 yeka.
5,000 votes.
The whole Ghana 7 yeka. But what you are saying is it doesn't matter baby a uko school ni drew here. There are certain support BR yeah offer was almost so said etimi susubi. Aden obi anim aban we say we nurse for adamfo. Mekai teacher training college and nursing training colleges ahodo. Emra previous government they deprive them of their allowances. Ya ban we ya nanado aban ya na restore ma wo mo. Ema wo mo enidaso foforo. So on the mention. Enye wonko o hwe recruitment aban we aye within the health sector na. Sebi under Fourth Republic idie ye hunu bisada. But say betina ha na menua edem. Ebe paint picture be te say there aban no backlog bi she ho. Na onfa na adwene nko aban ne gusua asen when na space bedo no asa de bi akwa gum omo ye these are professional skilled nurses and a personnel aban ya mo ntete a ye hwese kwan ni bi sa bedo e be sa fa bebre agum but we the special program World Health Organization sanctioned by African Union and omo ne Ghana Ministry of Health.
And Ghana Health.
Exactly. I am shisha say oh. Yampe emebunu a sabi we no de enhyeda nye technical bebre. Ye mo ntete ye bu okra betima mo 1 month 2 months ntete omo beti de wo kan bi ase. Say wo chro. So de meche no. Say bia wo ho na Dominic aba. Wo he Dominic say de ositie yare bebre won ho a. Eno an say wo chro yare no sa de agu ho. Enya se bi oba be wopane ana se bi a oba ba be man crofo aduru ni ade no me so
It makes it more
be ba me
how can you diagnose now akwa no then diagnose Dominic yare no church
debi oti
So mostly nurses na ya. I don't know how they will do it. In the umbe no market.
No. You see what I'm saying is there's a consulting room. Doctor Nabeka yare ache no. And they're confidential. But what I'm saying is say Atik owe. Atik Mohammed do kona wachuro udin. Atik yama o card. Sa training we na basic training bia. Utie. Entity bia che say obi abetuma ye bi. So what you are saying is say San Crawford no so mo wie school na omo abodi na ekuta omo no. SSC senior high school graduates no was say wo mo so yetimi ma wo mo offer bi in the scheme of running the affairs of the country no was so timi ma wo mo offer bi enti say program bi aba na aban hunu say there bi enkrofo bi also a omo no school na bi omo nko nu rekire bebre but yentete we die enya de din bebre ye betimi de ama wo mo a ne kwan so ano no basi yetena na as ye painti picture bi te say obi a wawie secondary school no say bi na adwene mobi ye otimi fa na adwene nya hwe a you are being unfair to a secondary school graduates in this country enti ye wa hyeme say mum ye numa ba betena ha na mu bu omo wie secondary school abem so na mu bu omo abem from no
Over 400,000 graduates from SHS every year. now 5,000 I will program with target. I been creating impression
so what I'm saying, no.
Who the salvation.
So what I'm saying is
there be the baby and kasa.
The program no. And no me
the can you say. The can you say. Obi.
There me person.
Who got nursing school.
No, you want to make a case for backlog, of course.
Yes, it's specialist war.
Notwithstanding your position.
Specialist war. So why do you want to go and bring?
Notwithstanding your position. Obi a wano so we secondary school no. Say program bi aba na ye twi ni be shame say oh monkonam ko assist.
See 1 month to say training here 2 months kana they are unfit to do that job. You see because they are specialized training.
But I think when me trying to say who say uko hospitals na o first port of call nipa obema o card no. The card that's at the OPD
department, yes.
In the card no almost throw within.
Yes.
ABR age.
Yes.
And it's how I say what about hospital hold and all of that. They don't go any further, do they?
No, but so file.
No, meba. They don't go any further. Yeah, they create a file for you. They might not necessarily get information on
no meba atik e plenty picture bi e ti said there sabi mabunu no SS graduates yes of course na me said
Chiefs compound.
Have you been to a Chiefs compound?
asembe na okay
Where were you that?
community based
I'm not asking to tell you
the
what
former
it is.
MP
No, please.
It's conference not a regular conference.
Me constituency. Me see hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
Not even. No, a big one. I mean, see you. You say. Please. So, me started with my headphone. Okay, the channel. A chain na me hunu say there be. I was say me time call. Na me dey better be so me mo. Through 1 million one constituency project.
So that's not the Chiefs compound.
Oh.
in the normal area.
Minua akwasi kuna Dubai o chese won ko hokra enti na de na ka nwura mu a e wo se me ya me sa ko back na me sa ko to aso sa akonya ne ba no mo to aba ne ma me a enti no won se wo ni so ade hunu bi e de ma wa manfo na obi ba na o twa so a ya na e hadwene obi
I know they find my tongue come
o se wo na wo kwatwe ba se obi se chief compound no ba hunu bi da na so me wura de mi si na kase you so hu de be che no na minua ne ba ya wa yi nani but no kra me kwa koto aso yeah, me kwa koto aso because duase any mention no here befitting hospital
Mate,
we are congestion
I think as a man now person based on the question I asked no.
Yes. Even Nyomuye record keeping no.
Yeah.
Sabi. They have gone through specialized training. Ebimu nurses, ebimu su ye nan paramedics, you know, they go through some kind of training. Yeah. And look, omuti nyobiase because in opening folder no, sabi they make provision for your vital statistics so that nurse ni ya obetimi feeling ni nyina and all that. You need some training to be able to do that. And now Oko Chiefs Campa moi. Minka say like I said, Minka say record keeping in here. But they don't have the kinds of records Uko regular clinic and hospital. They don't have an OPD department.
Yeah.
They don't. And now or card by card. Me see I have been to Chiefs compounds. Card ben a primary health care that's not your regular hospital and not clinic you are supposed to be frequenting. Uba say idea you betimi aso anu na yebo but if it is critical they refer you to a district hospital and bibia esun what you say
no that's not the concept of
nya bo maninwi
what you say
yes
nti enye bibia where they are supposed to keep like vital confidential medical history be because at the end of the day say a bro they refer you to a district hospital and at the nearest hospital is primary. That's your first point of contact. It's just like you said as a first aid be but first aid in the context of health delivery not your regular first aid what you say until ukono say no yare way there you need to seek the attention of a doctor. These are nurses yes until if you need the services of a doctor they and our midwife they will refer you now wako nti enye baby are keeping medical history business animal so that ukofie now bad then you come for review enye sanete here what you say nti sa folder concept here you can want say me sure say
no but consultation so you see
no
what share the concept of chip compound now
community based health planning services enye baby na bi wo utie baby o a omuni access to medical health care. Inti ni akoni akosi bia 2 unit blocks business. And by consultation cost wo. Because you can now the henia, what you know, so them. Oh, me ba, you be making exactly. No. As a referral, no. What I'm saying is, almost cases are cases. No money treaty.
Nurses don't even consult. Omo any consultation omo yo.
Omo consult a physician assistant.
Exactly. Nurses don't even do consultations.
Don't rubbish it.
Then never say mu assigning nkrofo na make as
20,000
na plus who have been trained. What is wrong? Who are signing
based on this funding?
It is on financing. It is just agree say. Agree say issue near financing. Agree.
Now they make challenges are.
Debbie, but say, Debbie, what is the problem?
The problem is I say, I say, secondary school.
Debbie, but say nurses from almost free secondary schools. Say almost free secondary schools. Debbie, they make I said, Debbie, don't create that impression. Debbie,
trouble.
Because I don't have the training.
Honorable Collins, Munyabo training. Adam, the other thing they say, in the infant they say, Wako Chips compound. Said the omoye in the regular hospitals. No, okwa nurse bi oha obefa temperature. And who just our temperature? No, oto sa omo we ni bi ofia. They already tested BP no. And was your cell numbers they drew her or your high drew her. Those things no. Plus say bi obemo wagina. If I didn't check it, umudu weight no. Scale. Ubejina sa scale no so no wa pick it away. Na omo e was her height you know, wejina no wa pick your height. Sa 3 new man say offer secondary school graduate. Now man about 3 months training na ontimi nye. Ontimi pick is vital so.
1 week
as your that be 1 week the other. Na
to pick your temperature.
No, you man can temperature. Me say
temperature. What day?
Sir, beep when you check your heart when your friends say.
The pressure no the.
How much check your pressure? Who's the numbers be low and high? Oh, well to me you will feel.
When will be a
obi assist in the performance of your duty. What does it mean?
And that's why I think YEA should clarify the rules.
And I may say it is needless. Discussion I have you are needless.
Of medical history.
Me say YEA. Obi, I'm saying this on authority. YEA for those on the board. Any more management, they are relatively younger. Say penny for that is it. Debbie, I'm not belittling them. I'm telling me a youth, and I'm making say they are relatively. They are relatively young.
Yes.
Into say penny for no committee, some blunders are we should not be seen as part. What is the problem? Solution way package eco survey. What is the problem? Problem be ne solution way eco survey. Over 20,000 people are more trained. Say who send now you can say no, you see issues of health we have to take it very seriously.
The other
issues of health are very, very serious.
When these 5,000 people are engaged, what happens to that 20,000 for no? And I say almost 5,000 anyway. Na WHO si can sign on
say a specific program you run here
and you go
now nap kokra mo we no you can't pay them 10 months in arrears. Program we it will end up as obi program we be end me and do make it point to sister station be say NDC MPP must begin to stop tokenism, temporary jobs, no youth in this, youth in that. We are not helping the youth. Debbie, we are not helping the youth. Omo deserve it, sustainable jobs.
Yeah. I've made this point before. Yes. You see, the creation of these splinter groups, giving them sexy names, YEA, NIEP, you see, I've asked this question. So before we create the second one, answer never create the second one.
Yes.
Have we done an evaluation of the first to know say you do way by no?
Say
this is the impact.
Game,
Debbie.
No, we do.
Honorable. And now who him say? Assembly na policy one fair.
Based on deliverables. Oh, please.
Honorable. Policy fair no say policy fair na moye na Alhaji Basho ko ka way on that platform.
Policy fair assembly.
Obi, me yesterday be. Yes. Who him say from 1996 we have rolled out
Youth
over
related
82 schemes are branded.
No, that's the point.
Youth in this, youth in me. Yesterday,
Nah,
by the time I'm making NDC MPP must put a stop to this. Now that me yesterday.
What is even more dangerous? And my research team, no.
Yeah.
You put the track from 2009, I think. Okay. And then I share youth-related programs here rolling out. But my interest was even
all of them are duplications.
Because the budget anymore. Yeah, budgetary allocations in less depth, yes, deck.
Yes.
No. All of them. If you look at the budget now, it's easy.
I mean, at the end of the day, what is the impact?
Oh.
There's no impact.
Nothing.
Namika said,
Nothing.
yesterday, you see, NYEA was not introduced as a job creating mechanism. Say, at a point, youth unemployment was becoming a national
security problem, yes.
Until there was the urgent need to create BBI that would assuage SAR tension, like reduce that threat. And NYEA by it was supposed to be a stopgap measure, so that pressure no come for then Abain would have the respite to begin to think about sustainable job creation. NYEA, National Youth Employment.
NYEP ko for time
NYEP
program be atesa
it's too much.
Youth your own program
youth no deserve it job what this program are meant to be. Only this program only what it is supposed to do. We share SDGs we have a target
sure
decent employment.
Employment, yes.
Abayin bebre in order to avoid sad decent employment, no. Almost creating as a scheme so that and yet to say they have put the people on permanent employment because who person will employ or through the proper means afe will be looking at SNIT. You bet you remember salary based on minimum wage. Any all of this into lazy governments. Avoiding our solution instead of giving youth decent job. Now we are creating scheme be youth in this. Now youth so now your boy and some it just must stop. Enriching individuals.
In 2000
look me and yes the
pistol from 2006 NYE
no but I think the other thing say a person fair so the person fair. Looking at the numbers of the youth we are dealing with, unim number of public sector betimi afa.
Yes.
Private sector then so here some push me to be able to be able to into what would a government do?
Fantastic.
When you have the youth
absolutely
hitting at you? What would the government do?
What him say? Government cannot be the biggest employer. And what do? You can't create an enabling environment. I say this is just some. These are just words. They don't mean much.
Yes.
We need to begin to give meaning and effect to these words. Say, creating an enabling environment. What does that mean? Last week, we spoke about incentives that are afforded to Ghanaian businesses.
Yes.
Vis-a-vis
foreign business.
This is part of our conversation. Say, look, who as a Ghanaian business, there is a tax scheme. And a tax break scheme that says if you are able to employ fresh graduates up to this number, you are entitled to this percent in terms of corporate income tax reduction. Ultimately, it is a good incentive. Until be on him say, me recruit workers here. At the end of the day, me whom kokemu dodo because sikana me debate income tax no at least me started the enu 8 workers so that as production meets expansion in terms of labor, met me of course, I can begin to pay more income tax. But for now, the kakrana menya from sa reduction, me media tuomo. Until omuye jumala company expand here. So you see later, Kramin tuya the regular income tax. Now, me because I would have had a labor force. Omaye juma masisi we can survive on our own.
Yeah.
That is one. Two, I've always stimulus packages and yet for nothing in a there are some companies wouldn't say access to credit is a big problem. In fact, Mikai, I attended a consultative meeting where Millennium Challenge accounts for you, Millennium Development Corporation for you. Omodi Compact 2 no urban internationally. Omodi Compact 2 no urban. They contracted some economists, some consultants to do binding constraints analysis. Until they came out with, I mean, say 3 binding constraints to business growth. One was access to credit.
Yes.
2 was energy, and the third one, Mekai. And access to credit in this country is very, very crucial. Nentia access to credit, DNS, cost of credit, was interest. And obi wa me pese me expand, me meeting from Crawford do a baby. Name me koji loan na manje ya me business ye be collapse because you end up spending everything you earn on paying interest. And if we have a scheme, Sasikeya ye dia quantitative groups baby. If we have a centralized pool, a bit me say, okay, what would him say? You can employ numbers, say, of fresh graduates. We are willing and ready to give you credit to expand your business. And Mika credit, I'm not talking about the Maslow kind of arrangement. At the end of the day, acquired to say food wages, retirement packages, and you know, maker. Genuine businesses, not businesses that are registered in order to access Sasiki. Businesses that are in operation, you can verify. So, my juma up to a point, they have the capacity to expand. Or more applier, and more mumbre, because we've had schemes, sir. Look, Exim Bank, when it was Edif, look, a lot of businesses were having difficulty accessing it. Even though, in principle, no idea, Obia, we are Ghanaian business, you could access, but it was difficult. If we can cut down on the red tape, make accessing self funding very easy and simple to be our personal access biano. Me sure say at the end of the day, people can easily access the credit, expand, employ more people. And at the end of the day, our buying would not be pressured into creating jobs that don't exist. Because our buying there's a limit to your capacity.
Matthew, you've spoken of the ideal situation. The challenge is all governments we've had have some of our sharpest economists in there. I mean, on both sides. And I would want to believe, say, a lot of them in names are prescriptions. What probably you are missing is that we run a political economy. Into the politics of this conversation, you have to also factor that.
You see, when you say we are running,
it's a political economy.
How do you mean when you say it is a political economy?
Our economy, the decisions we take, though economic decisions, are political decisions.
No, because but you see, when you say the idea of economics, I shall say name friend economics. It was called political economy.
Yes.
It tells you, say, economics by itself is about politics. You see, economics is about allocations of resources that are not plentiful, that are scarce.
Yes.
Yes. And the allocation of national resources, is a function of political decisions.
Yes.
And everything about economics and other economy in itself, politics.
By the partisan this I count. You need that.
That is where the problem is. When you make your decisions unnecessarily partisan, you are thinking about my party for their next election.
Because you need to stay in power to implement all the beautiful ideas.
But then they are opposition. Because listening and thinking the way are okay, they don't end up taking the hard decisions like we are suggesting. At the end of the day, pressure them out, then they go into position. But we need to get to a point. Who said, look, being a government means taking toughest decisions. They may not be popular. What is here? A lot of the time, tough, abiding, and efficient decisions are not popular. Because sebi temporarily and be temporary Ultimately,
Yes.
but the right decisions are the ones that would occasion temporary and a temporal, inconvenience. Ultimately, but Nkrofo bebre, they feel so. Oh, look, the next election is just around the corner. Hey, wait there, and can the people? Until now, can say great economists, no, they know. Say, oh, and can the people move the union? They say, but they and we've had situations where even people in governments would say, look, say, and you have others resisting them. And I can make mention of one tax instrument that was recently introduced, e-levy. I dare say, the vice president, who is an economist, was opposed to that idea. But dear no hunya. Oh, ya beya, oh, would ya massa cotton baby ya beya. And look at the Hunsun Samso. So I'm saying that we need governments that would say, look, we've experimented with these groups. These labels are creative, and Kosiaga. It is time to seek some paradigm shift. Ultimately, it's time to change direction. And I'm saying that the only way we can change the direction is to begin to empower businesses in the stricter sense of empowerment.
Yes.
And yeah, empowerment younger creature do we now then it becomes distribution for party people. Mikai Kra said during COVID, Sikana na Esedima and small businesses. It turned out to be distribution of national resources to party food soldiers.
And we have to kill that partisan bed.
Absolutely, yet Timia.
I disagree.
Now, I know you. If you didn't say so, but Niamidi, we say expert. Look, we need to even the playing field for Ghanaian businesses. Look, the way we treat foreigners. I told you, what is up?
GIPC for say. As part of the GIPC Act,
they are supposed to be promoting local businesses.
Yeah,
do they do it?
No. See, the local businesses are not taking advantage of
what
the
You see,
Obi,
they are not taking their advantage.
That's
how many businesses even know say GIPC? The act is telling them to empower local businesses.
No.
GIPC to me advertising abroad in other countries. My advert for Ghana locally say these are the opportunities available for you.
Absolutely.
Issues no one. Let's
tell them
with the issue of GIPC. You see. Sometimes emra. Sometimes you sit in your comfort zone. Now, fan say be a foreigners must also not be entertained in this country. No, meba in terms of businesses. Please, there be meba. Mean ye no. Ye per se you protected your local content, so that in terms of comparative advantage, ye local businesses and ye local business people will grow. But we live in a country. Sebi. Signatory to so many international treaties because where ECOWAS protocols here clearly freedom of movement of goods, services, and you see it's also there. And some fan say Nigeria for bear, and from where I sit, Nigerians are many in this country. They have more than 4 million. Yes, but Ghana for bear 1.2 million also in Nigeria. So it will be a give and take. Why are you careful now? We say oh dear, in your quest to protect domestic laws near the local content, omo biambem. Yes, we agree. But the same sanction regime need be so koso. Crow fofra sebi also so crow for gusua. And also the problem, beba. Nti true baby na ensem no ye can mama hwe kwan be fa so asebi ye be navigate issues ni ye send ye be at the end of the day
even playing field. I think that's what you call
at the end of the day no on say na say na ebi mo person mo call lucky ni Crawford
and also you're based on the same law you're talking about.
So that's
the law say retail trading.
Now one farm, but retail is for Ghanaians.
Retail is for Ghanaians, and that's the same law.
Exactly.
People have to be
no protocols recognize domestic laws.
Of course. But Obi, the point is, say on to kwanya. Please me, Martin Eko was Parliament 4 years. I know what I'm saying. Edru baby say on to kwanya. Now we are Okobia emphasis Gambia, Ghanaian community. Now the kind of a Juma or Moya. Now where Gambian laws are. No who says so almost CD of certain can say privileges ama foreigners a bad thing also to live in those countries. No.
Are you saying that
so what I'm saying is
yes, it breaks Gambian laws, Anna? It doesn't. And in our case, even GIPC Act, Emma Quine said, "We a foreign business, what you can do and what you cannot do. If you want to go into retail, you need an investment of $1 million. You have to employ 20 Ghanaians, skilled Ghanaians."
Me jitum say indigenous businesses, omo champion their cause. Me one of them. What I'm saying is, education non, international laws no for.
Yes. Okay.
And until they do, baby, now one careful and government. Enim sa niema no enu nti na diplomatically speaking edu baby ade bia obetimi ya kasa yentiase no aban no konfa so tu sa anamon no because aban na ntu anamon ni ya the government would be caught eye ade a me de me madwunum so education ni form or say education ni timi ko form yie to extent say sa ye ni Ghana for attitude na problem you fronted them foreigners. And I'm telling you, we cover mining sector, we cover even trade, or even tenancy crano. Ubo hunu say, do na ya Ghana for ya na fronti. Licenses near the additional Ghana ni bens wa koje be a concession. All the mention concession now also no and also kokoyeno. Oh, now I fetch it not or the ama. Chinese say, "Oh, mom me na mo operate." On record, Ghana need Dean Eshaho, directors of the company. But in practical, operational wise, no bones a foreigners and the executive. We are not honest. And education, about businesses near the identity form pa in this country. I see a 2-year book, but all said and done, I mean, can't say
1 minute.
You ain't in a studio, ha. I am rubbish. Government support schemes are the teacher you de boa youth no. Who say to say your former employment.
Answer on GIPC, Koesuman legal advisor to the president.
Yes.
To say, Obi, GIPC has been advertising locally and organizing events for local businesses to know about the incentives. At least in the last month, there have been 2 events I attended where GIPC spoke about incentives for local businesses and how there are local champions who have taken advantage of these. In fact, I held Twitter Spaces 2 weeks ago, and Yofi Grant of GIPC spoke extensively on the incentives available to local businesses. So the information is there, and those who want to know will know. Thank you. Call Esuma.
Oh, but this is a good information.
I think I'm coming. I'm coming. Into Dr. Dakwa Ewa, Washington, D.C. Osi Obi, under normal circumstances, training SHS graduates to support the limited staff at CHIPS compound shouldn't raise eyebrows. After all, Wanzams have supervised more deliveries than that of professional midwives. However, the noises emanating from the NAPCO program concerning salary payment keeps getting louder and louder. And this brings into question the sustainability of this new program. And we're Dr. Dakwa, a medical doctor based in Washington, D.C. I say, Obi, note, this discussion you are... Utie the entire message. He spoke about sustainability of the program. I say, Obi, this discussion you are having now should involve a professional nurse or a medic, instead of leaving it wholly in the hands of politicians with virtually no deep knowledge and understanding of what they are making noise about.
This is a policy issue.
Test message you are any question about.
Obi, me response Obi, your response the Ghana National Registered Nurses Association former CASA, and their position is in line with their Mediatic ECA.
Okay.
So you don't need to be a nurse to say other experts are more field no in our CASA.
Okay.
Students no and NASAC, National Association of Health Students, almost CASA. They are not in agreement with the YEA doing that because they are dangerous.
We say Obi, in fact, I'm disappointed in my senior Edem to describe our senior high school graduate to be unfit for this administrative opportunity coming from the government. Or say, is it that my senior Edem and fellow Vandal Atik are trying to redefine administrative work and record keeping to be professional work which needs Legon master's degree or what? Everything is impossible to the NDC. Now, wow. Or say, anyway, I commend Honorable Collins for such a detailed education on this model and our
said, say, SHS graduates are unfit to work. But the year can you say,
yes,
it is a specialized field. Health issues are delicate. Or not Nipana or Kasa, no Nipana or Kasa. Say, ni you. Me name say your bows or ni you and ani kunu and ani mama ni papa yare. Na say your ma SHS graduate be 1 year 1 week training be so handle no obey allow. Let's not play politics with some issues.
Okay, there's another great contribution here, and this from a PhD candidate here, health policy and management, Banasco Ampoansa. Also, Obi, good evening. Initially, when I heard the issue of YEA getting the services of SHS graduates, I was a little taken aback. But having read the concept paper, I think it's in order. For instance, in remote areas, both clinical and administrative duties are performed by nurses, usually a single nurse. This most often leads to medical negligence and cause of health delivery delays. That's why attending to a patient, while attending to a patient, this same nurse leaves to take the details of maybe an emergency situation, and this leads to discontinuity of medication at specific times or overdose due to forgetting the stage of attendance. The SHS graduates are to take such administrative duties, such as record keeping, picking of files, arrangement of hospital attendant, etc. In this case, the nurse can take charge of only the clinical duties. Remember, even within every ward at our regular hospitals, there are both clinical and non-clinical staff. In the villages or in a CHIPS compound, nurses consult, administer medication, and even undertake minor surgical operations, including suture and wound dressing. Obi, despite my agreement...
Is he saying sutures are done by non-clinical staff?
Or say nurses. Some of the things nurses do. Okay. Or say, Obi, despite my agreement to the SHS, if we could also look at getting more qualified nurses to boost our healthcare delivery system, I would support that as well. Banasco Ampon Ansa, PhD candidate, health policy and management. Or say, you remember the contribution of the community health nurse model under President Kufuor and its contribution to health delivery in our rural areas? It was awesome. Thank you, Banasco.
In fact, some even went as far as getting trained to become regular.
Obi, I'm not sure any of your discussants were ever members of the Red Cross whilst in secondary school.
Red Cross are your boy inter schools now. I mean, the
Professionals give us the drugs.
Yeah.
And yes, I choose to say, well, anyway, then BBC now for ice block and BB. The Red Cross, I mean, simple way. I mean, but this is not, we are talking about community health.
Okay,
different sicknesses,
my issue with this government is their ability to coin and create beautiful narratives about programs they roll out. After a while, they find out that their programs and projects lack sustainability. Then quietly and unceremoniously, things will fold up. Then they come out with another program without much recourse to accountability to the previous program. This present government absolves itself from all accountability, and that is a problem. Thank you. Mansa Musa, our London. And another way up. Yes.
We should not sit here and rubbish support scheme for youth in this country.
When the data shows
it's like a program like a presidential pitch that was launched by the President of the Republic, Nanado. You see, the whole idea of presidential pitch is to unleash entrepreneurial revolution in this country.
Oh,
no.
No, Eba.
Oh, no.
And I know be can creating narrative.
No. You see, I guess I was drinking. I timid drinking. Unlike Omo this argument. You see, no, because a government program. Please, what I'm saying is, President Kufuor, and indeed, introduction of NYEP, President Kufuor the buy-in. Ushemwa, now all successive presidents are not ban. Now it was a clear-cut youth policy. It was meant for youth. Say, where the in terms of youth employment, when you de Bama Mebono, now you need be apart from the late Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, CY only at the Adeno. John Ejekum Kufuor the way in the buy-in. And this buy okaya. Omo besi sendino ebe ye ni jida no kra na encheni be mo ma buga peli ekokode mu wo hu no so dem eche no please ye jida na from NYEP mother be na mo ba ye na mo hu si ache mo sa mu diska na mo sa bu sa dwane de ko ye ekoye wa let's them let's them are all separate program. But what I'm saying, please, what I'm saying is the same program. This no. Same policy, no. That policy was metamorphosed into. Mami kasa.
Adam, Manini.
Viking. Ushia Vandas at Tobo. Oya Viking. Tobo ma Vandas ni yankasa. Ushia your studio abroad once in the Tobo na yankasa.
Zana mo ye ekofang tokwaba campus.
Debi. Mensa saba phone. O manu odin ba to amonya.
Colonists refused to recognize their never.
Yes.
Independence is one gradually.
How about presidential pitch?
No, you see,
what we are saying is what I said, and I'm happy repeating this point. Man can say youth support programs need schemes, no. It's I've not rubbished them, but what I'm saying is a lazy approach to solving the issue of unemployment.
Even in advanced
because
democracies, they do. Because
in those countries, what is the rate of unemployment? A major example of youth unemployment. A major crisis of youth unemployment. Instead, we create sustainable jobs among youth. Now the slogan about youth in afforestation.
No.
We recruit you 2 years, 3 years.
And the youth
and I'm a business that is not employment. Employment are almost deserve a decent jobs at the end of the month. What him say recently, Madam Kobe.
Employment.
We see decent employment. Decent employment.
Adjectives.
Decent employment.
What you are saying is
unim say. If you are Mamima example, Mudinap ko buy and I explain this thing say. Mohamu say you don't have space at the public. Your friend is saying your public institutions, public sector. It will be we
as a result of IMF conditionality.
IMF one and mobile 10 days. See, that wasn't the reason. That wasn't the reason. And yeah, because of IMF.
Okay. We say Obi, the YEA got it right with their decision to train and recruit SHS leavers to work at the various SHIP compounds. Obi, as you are aware, graduate nurses sometimes do not go to our rural areas when posted. Just oppose that to the nurse to patient ratio, and you would appreciate why we need them. For me, I am all for it. While the graduate nurses provide technical support, the SHS graduate would also provide administrative assistance. There are other ones here. Maybe I them. Let me read some of the topic when I am for the Obi. Ask my brother complaining if nurses will take the 400 Ghana cedis. Obi, tell my friend Agbana that those are the pharmacies giving us drugs today went for a 6-month training and they qualified to give us drugs to take. Tell him writing the weight of patient does not need any special training. William Sangmore and on the way Abba.
What is going on?
We say, Obi.
It is no longer a problem that people who are not health professionals can work as a training. What do you mean by detailed training? Oh, please. I mean, where you
Okay. Yeah, I think we have to wrap up. My time
all
so.
these justifications.
Yes, my time so.
Program comes to an end.
Yeah.
Now you're Mama Kofi. What happens? Are they still going to advance these arguments and say, because very important. Abenko pesika no fanto aso.
Oh yeah,
Move.
almost 30
A better than a city no engine who say.
We say
Because these are the kinds of expenditures that place a drag on governments.
I am really shocked at this simple proposal for the nursing assistant to help at the hospital and the CHIPS compound.
Nursing assistance.
This has been happening in Europe and the US where people get trained for 3 weeks or 2 weeks. They then go for a test and acquire certificate as nursing assistant and then home health aid.
Do you know what they do?
A whole lot of Ghanaians, Africans,
you know what they do?
Filipinos and Latinos. A whole lot of Ghanaians
Are doing that.
Africans, Filipinos, and Latinos are working in that field. They not only do recording, but help the nurses by lifting, pushing wheelchairs, cleaning, preparing beds, and other minor non-medical staff. Why do Ghanaians always argue about good initiatives? Oh, Montomoboe. Why do Ghanaians always argue about good initiatives and condemn before taking time to know better? Stop all this partisanship. Eugene Mamprobi.
You know what? Health assistants, nursing assistants, you know what they do? If you're a patient, they do about ward no more. Or not to chain. Oh, yeah, now in Yania, or no be friendness.
Say Omra.
When we are drama, yes,
I've been always and
that is why I think, sir, to put a stop to Saudi Arabia, YEA should come out clear. If there is a concept paper, let's know the specific role of and then we can have a proper conversation.
Since 2017, I buy your policy policy document. Now policy document. It's there be money be. Even free SHS come on policy document.